Hello, this is Moondice. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're not new around here, nice to see you again. So it's been about a month and a little bit, and I had an idea. JK, I did not. I had a friend in the YouTube comments that gave me a suggestion for a video, and I was going to make it sooner, but life kept on lifing. And I tried to make a Junior in Georgia video, but I gave up on that very quickly, very fast. So this is now the next video that you will see on my YouTube channel. This is purely based off of the videos, the shows that I watched. It's not including movies, and it's got a bit of everything sprinkled in there. A few Chinese dramas, a few K-dramas, not a few Chinese dramas, like one, and everything else in between. I hope you stick around till the end. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, let's break down the tier list first and foremost. And I know this is like the second tier list of the year. I haven't made any other videos, but it's just like the occasion keeps on calling for me to like make a tier list, so we're gonna do what we have to do. So first we have I could write a 10,000 word essay. This means that like their connection is so deep. I could write 10,000 word essay about it. I probably have attempted to do so. I've probably tried to write fan fiction about them, never completed though. So that's where they stand. Like they occupied so much of my brain throughout last year that I might as well write a thesis about them. Though a thesis would probably be longer than 10,000 words, I think. I'm not educated like that. And then so sweet my teeth are aching, when you watch something and you're just like, oh my god, they're so cute, and you just feel yourself feeling fuzzy inside. That's what this category is for, the fuzziness that it brings in your heart. But maybe a few of them may not be that sweet, but for me they are sweet, so that's why they go there. And then the next is I see the vision, which is essentially I see the vision, but that I see what the writers were going for, and I think with a little bit of more of a sprinkle, I could be entirely into it. They could probably move up like 2 tiers if they put in the effort. So do the job. And then the next one is give me the script, which is just like similar to I see the vision, I think, but not entirely, because it's like, okay, like you've given me crumbs, and I'm saying I want bread, I want to devour it. So essentially I know that you can't do what I want you to want. What's that? Is that English? I know that you can't do what I want, so give me the script, let me write it, send it back, produce and direct it. I think those are the words, and then we're back in business. And then the last one is about couples that I just feel like they try to shove down my throat, and I can't get with them. I can't. I've tried. You keep on having moments, but like they don't have that va-va-voom. They don't have that, like that extra something that's making me be like, oh my god, I get why you're trying to shove them down my throat. No, I am feeling sick. So first of all, we have Gregory and Janine, and no doubt about it, they go here. Like the slow burn that the show is given is exactly the genre I love, because my favorite couples in comedies, or some of my favorite couples are from comedies. Let's say Jake and Amy Santiago, slow burn over a comedy. Jim and Pam, I almost got her name. And Janine and Gregory give that as well. And yeah, like Janine is just also like that sunshine, and he's a bit of a downer. I don't think he's a complete downer. Like he's been raised to be like very and he is like that, but with her he's willing to like break those boundaries, so it just mouths me entirely. But I wasn't completely absorbed in their romance last year, so they go to So Sweet My Teeth Are Aching, because maybe this year, because I've been seeing a lot and I haven't started the second season yet, but I will like they'll move up. Our next couple is Naksu and Jang, and they go to I could write a 10,000 word essay. So Jang and Naksu have like such a dynamic that's so like convoluted, I guess, but he has had a lifetime of like deceit, of like not deceit. For me, it's deceit, you know? Like, the way he was smiling with the people he was smiling with, like, I could never smile with them if they had done to me what they had done to him. Like, a whole lifetime of people not respecting him or taking him seriously because of their laws. But I think if you love me, you can break a few laws, you know? And then she comes along, and she's an assassin. Woman who kills. Just my type of woman. And she's an assassin. And she decides to take him on for training. And the relationship, like, not slowly, because I actually think it developed quite fast, which I'm usually not into, but with this I was like on the boats enjoying it enjoying the ride. And I just think that their relationship had a lot of depth, from him like breaking every single thing he was taught growing up just to start his training, but then that evolved into him like breaking these because he loves her so much he wouldn't want her to leave him, you know, and then her doing the same for him. So yeah, like it was kind of intense, and I love them. So yeah, a lot of time spent on Instagram watching edits of them too. Yeah, a lot of time. I think that's what puts people above like the so sweet my teeth are aching, is the fact that I probably spend a lot of time on the internet discussing them, or like watching videos of them, or like just crying about them in my bed. Is it that deep? Yes, it is. And then we have the bastard son and the devil himself. They go... I see the vision. It was about witches, and I'm really into that, like, fantasy sort of vibes. And, you know, it was different. And then I was feeling the inklings, you know. Initially, it was about, like, Nathan falling for Annalise, and Annalise falling for Nathan. And then all of a sudden, it's about Nathan falling for Gabriel, and then Annalise falling for Gabriel, and then all of a sudden, it's all three of them. And the show has been cancelled. So it is cancelled, but I did think I should put them in here because, like, a thing that's becoming very popular in media these days is like representing like throuple relationships. I don't know if the word throuple is like the correct word, but I do think that they were cute. I did have an issue with Gabriel to some extent because I think the actor that they chose was quite older. So when him and Nathan started falling for each other, I was like so confused. I was like, isn't this man like 10 years your senior or something? I don't know. I thought he was really old because they're like in high school. And Gabriel doesn't look like he's in high school. He has like this beard, and he looks older, right? And when I googled it, I found out they were meant to be the same age, but they just chose this actor to play him. So I had to suspend my disbelief at some points because I was just like, oh, this feels kind of strange. And then when I googled it, I was like, okay, it's cool. And when it came to this, I just liked how seamless the relationship came together. Annalise and Nathan liked each other. It had a lot where it could go, but sadly it's been cancelled. And I heard that the book is not as similar. Part of the reason I watched it is because like this is also a fantasy that has become more diverse in like its production. So I don't think I might read the book if the book has diversity in a good way, or it's a really good book maybe. But I'm not tantalized, okay? I'm done with them. I'm done. We move on to our next couple, which is Hari and Temu from Business Proposal. And so they go in So Sweet Are My Teeth Are Aching. I was like starting it off and I was like, it's a bit cliche, but this, but that. But what I love about Business Proposal is that they freaking owned it and then they elevated that shit. I don't think cliches are bad. I think cliches are great, and that's why they're cliches, because people continuously make them, right? It's about how you execute it. And Business Proposal just like blew me out of the water. It was like when she started liking him and then eventually feeling like she shouldn't like him because he was in a different place in life, and then him also falling for her like deeply, like don't let anyone like tell me I can't be with her. Done on the floor. I was like, this is what I like to see, you know? And we had our cliche jealous moments and everything. And as I said, a good cliche is something I devour. And I love those jealousy moments. Say I'm immature. Say what you want. But I love it. And I will stand by it. And obviously they both had like their trauma, specifically the Temu. I was about to say the main lead. And the way that it was broached with her right here in my heart. So if you haven't watched it, check it out, because like what I just said doesn't have that much spoilers, but yeah. And then we have Devi and Ben. Like this one, I can drag it right there and be done with them. Like there's no doubt about it. I do not like them. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Like, take me to a stadium. I was just joking. But Devi and Ben, no. I think in the first season, I was so sold on them. I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. Especially because the episode for Ben was narrated by Andy Samberg, and I love Andy Samberg. You know what I'm saying? Is it Andy Samberg? I hope I'm right because I just said I loved him. But yeah, Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg. Yeah, right. So I love Andy Samberg, and I think that the story they had for him, like a rich boy who's unloved by his parents, is working hard to like thingy this and just like want some love in his life. I love that, you know? Great. Second season, okay. Not really as much into its third season. Out of the door. Like, stop shoving this down my throat. I hate it. Let's move on. Find another interest. Especially because, like, it's not like I particularly liked Paxton that much. I knew he was just the guy that she always wanted to get. So I was like, yeah, get him. Move on. Realize that you can get whichever guy you want. And then, you know, move on. And I was like, yeah, Ben will be probably the guy. But then Ben is just so insufferable. Is that the right word? I think so. Like, especially this season, like, he did a lot of malicious things because he liked her. And at some point you just have to be like, no, because like it wasn't even cute to watch. It was just like, I cannot stand you. And then in the end he was like, okay, and at her side, and they were friends. But some of the things he said is like, they're not kids in a sandbox or whatever you call it, like pulling each other's pigtails. They're not adults either, but they're teenagers. They're talking about like college and all that, and he's being so harsh to her. And then she's supposed to like him because that's him caring, or he shows like an inkling of caring here and there, and it's supposed to be like, oh my god, they're so cute together. No, throw it in the trash. Yeah, especially because this season we had like Des, who is a bit like Ben, but like I think more kinder, and his obnoxiousness wasn't as like something, his obnoxiousness wasn't as irritating. I felt like they could have done that, but again we went back to Ben because like Ben is like the best guy possibly for her, which is, it's not. And I know his mom had issues, but again I think they chose to write that in to make sure that she would never be with Des, because he's exactly who her mom would want her to be with, or at least an amalgamation of both what her mom wants and she wants, and so it's not good enough. Oh my god, is my couple here? Oh my god, like one of the couples that I was supposed to do for this are not here, but I'll add it. Okay, I'll add it, just give me a second. Yeah, so they've appeared. 2521 Nahido and Becky Jin. We'll talk more about them later. Anyway, so next we have Dongfang and Shalanghua. I think I'm saying it right. Right here, right on top here, like no doubt about it. When it came on Netflix, I was like, I'll add it to my list. It had like that love between fairy and devil. It's like such a cliche title, but I think sometimes those are the ones that hit you. Like, they straight up telling you it's a love between a fairy and a devil, and I was in the mood for that. I needed my heart to be thawed once again, like unthawed, like, I don't know, is that the right word? Whatever. Like, I was like, I need to watch it. And I was in a very stressful period of my life. I feel like almost every single show, yeah, I'm gonna say I was in a very stressful period of my life, and it's kind of true. I was stressed most of last year, right? So I know most of you guys might not know this. It's a Chinese drama, as I said, and it's the first Chinese drama I've ever finished to completion. Like, congratulations to me. Anyway, it's probably just I haven't been watching the genre that it's for me, so this was exactly in that alley. There's Dongfang qingcang. He's like basically the devil, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's on this tribe. Like, I don't know if I'm going to describe this completely accurately, full disclaimer, but I'm going to give you a little bit so you understand where I am at and why I could write a 10,000 word essay for them. Like, you can tell the difference between I'm not sold and this, because look at me, I'm so excited to just like tell you all about her and him and them, their love. So essentially we have Dongfang qingcang, who's basically like seen as the devil, right? And he's not really a devil, but he's from like this tribe that is seen as evil, and he's basically the head of it, and he's like all powerful. And then we have Shalanghua, who's like just like a flower. Because she's a flower, she's not particularly powerful or important, and so something strange happens where the two of them swap their bodies. I don't want to spoil too much because I want you to watch this as well, but I'll tell you why they're amazing. So the two of them swap bodies, and then like they unswap buddies, but then he finds out, Dongfang qingcang, who's like the leader of like this evil people, and he is evil, it's true, for good reason, but he is evil. He finds out that now that they're connected, if she dies, he dies. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take care of her, everything. But none of that is done purely out of the goodness of his own heart, right? He's just doing it, but eventually he falls for her. He falls, and he falls so hard. He falls first because she loves somebody else, and I was like, yeah, fall. You have to. When he loves her with his full chest. He feels ashamed that the affection he ever gave her in the beginning wasn't truly his own. And so he feels so bad for that, but he also is giving her his all. And, you know, considering the fact that he's the leader of like a whole like tribe or something, or whatever they are, like a whole realm, let's say a whole realm, because I think it is, like, he starts thinking about her more than them. Not in a way where it's like, oh, he's a bad leader, but because obviously there's like disputes between her side and his side, because she's like love between a fairy and a devil. Like, he's willing to go all out for her, and then she's willing to go all out for him too. She's not the most powerful, but she is hella smart, and she's like the cutie type, you know, like Sailor Moon, Usagi type, but like they get shit done, don't they? Like, she was Sailor Moon after all, right? So she just warmed my heart, and for a long time I didn't like characters who were sort of like Usagi. So the fact that she was here in a time in my life where I've matured enough to love her, I keep on keeping this character. In a time in my life where I was mature enough to like love her and adore her, loved it. There were a lot of other things, like I probably have a lot of other things to say about them, but it's mainly that they were both ride or diers, right? Freaking hilarious. Great actors, because the body swaps, I was like genuinely thinking this is a fantasy that I'm watching, that someone filmed, not that it's like actors in a position acting like they swap bodies. And like, you know, annoying plot points, none of them in my side personally, none of that, because, you know, with romances, there's sometimes like that plot point where it has to come and just drag you down, and you're just like, oh my god, I guess they have to go through trial and tribulations, but like, can you like do it in a less annoying way? You know. The next couple we have is Emily and Alfie from Emily in Paris, you know. I wanted to give that a bit of a try, but I'm really bad at accents, so I will stop right now because I'm tired. I feel like I'm hurting your ears. So they go to give me the script, which is, I think, understandable. Anyone who watches Emily in Paris knows that Alfie and Emily are the cutest ever, right? But this show is intent on saying that Emily and Gabriel, whatever his name is, are like meant to be together, that there are distant, like from the day they were born to now. Like, that's how it feels to me anyway. Like, maybe they're not throwing it like that, but it feels like that's what they're giving me. But Emily and Alfie just makes sense, and I can't help but feel like the reason why they keep on trying to shove down Emily and Gabriel is because well, how do you say? It's because Emily and Gabriel met first, and because they met first, it's supposed to mean that there's something much more deeper, which annoys me to no end, because Emily and Alfie had all the right cards, and the only reason they weren't working out is because Emily wasn't willing to put in the effort. So give me the script, let me make Emily making the effort, Alfie introduce her to his parents, seal the deal, be together. Emily in Paris ends after 4 seasons. She is in all the right places she needs to be. Romance, work, friendship, and maybe like give her a pet just to seal the deal. Because I was like, what doesn't she have in her life? Next we have Audrey, Max, and Akeno, who again, I think they go here. Or should I say give me the script? I say give me the script because I already saw the vision. I was ready to like watch it, and then I don't think they like developed on Audrey, Akeno, and Max that well. The end of season 1 was really good for them because like Max explained his own like wariness with the relationship, and he was very vulnerable. And then I was like, season 2, they're gonna do great. That's on me for believing in Gossip Girl, you know, the reboot, because they even got cancelled as well. Damn, things have been getting cancelled. But yeah, like that was on me believing in them, because like all of a sudden season 2 starts and it feels like we're in the exact same place. And that episode where Max is trying to make sure that they tell everyone that they're together was so fair in my opinion. Everyone was just like, oh, you're not thinking about this, but like the minute you decided to put him in your relationship, you decided that you guys would be on equal standing, right? So if you're all on equal standing, then it means that every single one of you are out and about saying that this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? But none of that was given, you know. And then they made him seem irrational, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not an understanding person, you know. But that was whack. And then I think throughout the season they continue to do some stuff, not just Audrey and Akeno now, but Audrey and Max, where they don't take like each other's feelings into account. And I get it, they're teenagers, but I think this could have been executed way better, and by me. Trying to kickstart my career. That I was so it was supposed to be a wink, but it came out so wrong. So yeah, I think that there's a lot that they could do better, and so I said, give me the script, because I clearly have a lot to say about what they could do better. So let me write it. Let me get bashed. But obviously this is cancelled now. Next reboot, I'm available. My email once again in the description box below. Then we have Nick and Charlie from Heartstopper. So sweet, my teeth are aching. Dude. So I really found them cute beginning to end. And I think one thing that was struck me the most about Nick and Charlie and Heartstopper, and Heartstopper as a whole, is the fact that they represented them as teenagers that I'm very aware of. Like Nick and Charlie and their whole friend group just felt like me and my friends in like high school, you know what I'm saying? Especially like my last few years when like I became more loose and more troll, and it was just fun to watch. Nick's discovery of him being like bi was just handled so well, and just like the fact that throughout that period he made sure that he never wanted to disrespect Charlie, because Charlie had gone through so much, and Charlie, my boy, who'd gone through so much, was still just such a kind heart, and the two of them were just adorable. I watched them and I was like adorable. Like at times I was cringing, because obviously like to look at these people who are younger and just see them be like, like, and sometimes it was my own personal issues, but like 99% of the time there was just fluff and fluff and fluff, and yes, there was some like hard times, but like for teenagers they handled it so maturely, and left me so soft. Then we have Kate and Anthony from Bridgerton season 2. If you lived in my house, you'd be so annoyed by me. You'd be so annoyed by me. Basically, Bridgerton season 2, I was obsessed. I watched season 1, I was okay with it. Then I watched season 2, and I changed. I altered. No, but I did change as a person, and it's mainly because I loved Kate and Anthony so much, and I think it was a really, really great season. Kate and Anthony were just like amazing, start to finish, and I think part of the reason is that not that they were just a forbidden love, but it was also enemies to lovers, and I love a good enemies to lovers. I actually was supposed to make a video about this last year, but my laptop at the time was so bad that it deleted files. I tried like 2-3 times, and at some point you're just like, the world is telling me not to make it, so they had to be on this list, because I had to gush about them, because I never got the chance to do so on my YouTube channel, even though I have one, because of technical issues. Don't we hate them? As I said, Kate and Anthony are enemies to lovers, and they slowly fall into for each other, but Anthony is actually trying to like get with her sister because he thinks that she's the perfect woman for him, and he has some views that are pretty off-putting, but I think the way they handle it and the way it proceeds, and to see that it was all just like the shield that he had because he was afraid of falling in love because of his parental trauma. Don't I know about it. Kate is a flawed character. She's not perfect in any way, shape or form. We know that she legit got with the man that her sister was falling in love with. I don't think her sister loved him. I think that she was in love with the idea of who he could be in the life they could have had. So maybe that's why I don't take it that seriously, but also it's still a betrayal to some degree. But your sisters, you can get over it, because a man is not going to break up my beautiful, beautiful sister duo, right? So Kate falls for Anthony, but she doesn't want to ever admit her feelings for him, because obviously he's trying to marry her sister, and she has this duty towards her sister to make sure that she gets the best life possible, because she can't have that, because she's not really like her mom's real daughter, and people know that, right? And then we have Anthony, oldest son, has so much duties to take upon himself as well, and then he falls in love with Kate, and he doesn't want to fall in love with her again, because he's decided that he wants to marry her sister, and he is like, hey, I have to fulfill this duty. But eventually both of them just crash and burn and hurt a lot of feelings on their way, because they can't resist the love that they have, which was so well represented. I cannot lie to you in any way, shape, or form. Like the looks, like the glances, like the slight touch. I was like, dude, I know that you've just like brushed fingers, but it feels like you're about to rip each other's clothes off. Now we have Love Victor. Just put it right there. Okay, Love Victor season 1, loved it. Love Victor season 2, okay. Love Victor season 3, terrible. But we're glad it's over, right? Shows get cancelled a lot. Like people just give up on them. But Love Victor, I think it came off like the first season was such a brilliant thing, and I love Simon a lot. So great. Victor, great. And then we go to season 2 and season 3, and they're not that great, but I'm still glad that it got to be completed and a story was given to us. Like you may not like every single plot point that is given to you about a story, but you can still enjoy it along the way, because sometimes you're watching something particularly for a character. Particularly Pilar, Victor, and what was his name, Felix. Those were my 3 favorite characters in Love Victor. And so in Love Victor season 3, him and Benji, is his name Benji? Feels like it would be Benji. They're having issues, and that's okay. But I think that the issues that they have really solidified to me that they shouldn't be together at all, But the show is just like they're meant to be together or whatever, and like Victor goes through many guys, but he still feels like this pull to Benji, and that's okay, because I know they're teenagers, but like to make it seem that deep, I think it's also fair to like represent teenagers as people whose emotions like change, and they love deeply, but like know that that one love isn't a love that they'll have for forever, because I think Victor and Rahim could have possibly had something, but they wrote it off within the first 5 minutes of season 3, I think. And it was just like, why make the end of like the last season like this big decision as a cliffhanger if you're just gonna write off the romantic interest that he possibly could have had, that I think was actually quite good. Maybe he didn't go on executing it well, but like it wouldn't be the first time that Victor had cheated on someone to be with someone he thought like he would be with forever. So yeah, there was a lot of disrespect between each other there, and I guess forgiveness exists for a reason, but no, like I felt like they were trying to push this onto us, and it's okay. Like in the beginning they were together, like Ben and Davy, like in the beginning they were really cute, but sometimes that cuteness fizzles out, and I think it's okay as a writer to be like, hey, I'm done with this, I'm done writing that, and I'm going to introduce someone great and people are going to love it. And I would have loved that. When I said couples of 2022, I was so real, because like this is a long video, this is such a long video. Hopefully I'm actually saying that and it's like kind of a long video. Yeah, give me the script. Mike and Will. I'm not that invested in their relationship, to be fair. I'm not that invested in Mike and Will, but I am invested in Will. Like, he is my character. He's been suffering since like season 1. At some point you have to like give my boy some like rest from all the suffering, Like I was trying to look for the right word. I was trying to say like stop it. He needs some like fluff in his life, he needs some like happiness, but he hasn't been getting any of that. And I think in terms of couples, I do have something to say, because even though I wasn't like cheering them on, oh my god, Mike and Will, I did hope that they would get together. So before the season started, there was like a lot of promotions, obviously, because Stranger Things is like a very popular show, right? And in those promotions they were like a lot of insinuations on like Mike and Will getting together, things closing up well, and how they handled a character in the past who was gay. Wow. Did they lie? Absolutely. I think this season they made him pine over Mike the entire time, and I was just like, okay, why are they acting like Mike is like the hot sauce of the hot sauces? I don't know, like if that's the right thing to say, but it's like they were acting as if Mike could never fall for anyone else. And I think here it goes again with that one love thing, but also just like them being so lazy in their writing that they didn't try to even introduce another character for Mike to fall for, or someone who was actually gay that he could look at, and like sort of get more comfortable in who he was. They were just like, okay, like Mike's whole plot point for season 4, which I thought it was like the last season, so I was so fucking confused as to what was going on until like I found out there was another season, and then I was like, okay, that's better now, but like terrible still, because you promoted this season that way. And I think the next season is coming out in 2025. Where's the well done representation you were talking about? Like, where is it? So that's my annoyance. And with Mike and Will, I say, give me the script, like maybe I won't make them get together, but I will rectify everything, because Mike was so disrespectful to my boy Will this season. So maybe a little bit of torture for him, he'll survive. But Mike will get everything he wants and deserves, because he's been suffering, and it's time for him to not be like the suffering main character, but like the happy-go-lucky main character. Nancy and Steve, another Stranger Things couple, have lots to say. Whew, whew. You know how much I love Steve Harrington, like so much. Like I don't want to even represent it with like a hand or a digit or a number. I'm just gonna say so much, like an ambiguous amount, so you know that like it's big, right? And I love Nancy, not as much. That one I can say truly, but I do really adore her. What I don't understand is why they were trying to bring Steve and Nancy back together. Like, I think that they were cute when they were together at the time, which was like seasons ago. But to act as if they still have something that was worth diving into, very wrong. Very, very wrong. I don't know who wrote that in, but it was just lazy to me, because it was just like, okay, Steve is like going around saying he wants to be in a relationship. Fair, like you can be in a relationship, you're pretty good looking, but like why is it that he's like, I need a woman who's full of substance, nah. And then the first thing he sees is Nancy. Like, we can have rebounds, yeah, we can have going back into our feelings, but then realizing that it's ridiculous and it would never work out would be great. And to make it seem like, again, like they're so great together, like, and looking at each other now, because he's had a lot of development as a character, and her being like, yeah, maybe I want to be with him, even though like she's with the other Briar's brother, kind of off for me. I was very annoyed. I think they could have just written him off as having no relationship as well, because yeah, he has the whole thing with the kids, which is like really fun, but they decided to sprinkle this in, and I think that they just are really bad at writing romances at this point, because Mike and 11 are not good in looking good either at this moment. So maybe I should also say give me the script, but I'm not sold. That was like the deepest thing for me. Stop shoving it down my throat. I am feeling physically sick. Take it back, rewrite it. You can. You have one more season coming out in 2025. You have a lot of things to do. Maybe this should be one of them, That sounded so fucking serious. But yeah. Then we have Captain Black and Stede Bonnet. There was just a lot of depth. Yeah, there was actually a lot of depth, but I didn't consume them as much as I did other couples. So again, not going to the top bar, but I did enjoy watching it thoroughly, and I have so many good things to say. Like, I think that the difference between the two of them, but also like the similarity in both of them, was just like so fun to watch, because obviously Captain Black is tired, sick of his life, and then Stede Bonnet is the same. But like what Stede Bonnet wants is what Captain Black has, and what Captain Black wants is what Stede Bonnet has, and both of them just finding that within each other, but also finding like a place to be safe, because everyone expects something from either one of them, whether it be good or bad. And where they are together, where they got together, was that there were no expectations. So yeah, and just understanding each other. So that was really cute. There were, not gonna lie to you, moments where it was wild, it was mad. But in those moments I found them extremely cute too, like if someone is a bit like off their knockers, you love them through the off the knockers era as well. You love them through it all, that's love. Okay, so next we have Ricky and Gina from High School Musical, the musical, the series, SMTMSTSA, whatever. It's them. I love them. Oh, woo, guys. This show has been airing. I think it started airing in 2018, 2019, and in 2018 and 2019, I looked at them too as they were across the room from each other, and I was like, whew, wouldn't you be a great couple together? And then finally, all my prayers were answered in the summer of 2022. I think it was the summer. The two of them got together, and the world shifted. Volcanoes erupted. I don't know. I was trying to like be very dramatic, but it was amazing. If I could tell you how many times, I can't tell you how many. It's like an embarrassing amount. I've watched High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 3. The amount of times I've watched it, like one episode, the whole season, the entirety of the series, just to like like gush about the two of them, I watched it a whole lot. But I've been watching them, and I think that from the beginning I thought that would be a great couple because they had so much similarities in terms of maybe like their trauma, I guess, but also so much differences, and I think they brought out the best out of each other. And then in season 3, they do that, and I loved season 3 as well because Gina in season 1 really liked Ricky, and then they had something like Loki, and then he got together with Nini, who is played by Olivia Rodrigo, who left the show basically in season 3 completely. So like he was with Nini at the time, and it just felt like they never were on the same page of when to be with each other. And season 3 is that as well. Ooh, I love that they're not in the right time because now Gina is with EJ. Yeah, that's his name, EJ. Gina is with EJ. But I think that it was extra fun to watch because like Ricky likes Gina now and she's with someone else, and he was so heartbroken. Like his resting face this season was just like sad eyes, like she's with somebody else. And maybe that shows how evil I am. Maybe I am just a bit evil. Just a bit. But I really loved to see him just look in from afar, pining, because for so long she gave so much of her emotions to him, and obviously that couldn't be reciprocated because he was with somebody else. And I think she did draw the line to some point because like Nini was her friend as well. And then we come here and he's just pining over her, and then it's summer, they're at a summer camp. I love when like shows change sceneries. Like she's going for the lead, she gets the lead, he gets the lead as usual, you know, like he's supposed to be the Troy of the show, so even if he puts no effort, it's like, wow, you're main character material. That's me my whole life. I'm trying to like run away from it. Yeah, so like him watching him pining, and then after that the confession at the end of the season, like I can tell you, mind blowing. Like it's like it just aligned so well from him, like her liking him to him liking her, and then finally like in the last part of the season being at a point where they can be together. But like obviously I have to wait for the next season, which I think is coming out in March, so I'm very excited about that. Finally having the time to be together, but also throughout season 3, like her being in a relationship and it not being what she wanted, it was really sad to watch, but really fulfilling because I think it was really well directed and everything, and putting her best into it, and then realizing that maybe putting your best into everything isn't something that can like yield results. And also just like you can't be putting in effort for another person in the relationship, and Ricky trying to be there for her in the most respectable way and making sure that he doesn't ever push his feelings onto her at a time that's not right, because she also has to work through the fact that she's going through a breakup. Yeah, like she may like you again, but at the moment, you know, she's like heartbroken because he meant something. So yeah, I think all of that was handled well, and you can see I got a little swoony towards the end again, like wow, and very serious. Like I take my relationships so seriously, like at least the ships that I ship. Then we have this one. Give me the script. Wait, is it? Where's the I see the visions? Okay, give me the script, dude. Give me the script. Give me the script for this one. Morpheus. This is the most random one, I think. Yeah, and I have so many random couples I probably could have talked about, but those are like on movies. So I'm going to, you know, just keep it to them. But like Morpheus and Lucienne, dude, give me the freaking script. Give me the script. There was so much ships for him. It was like Constantine. It was that guy who used to own slaves. Like retching all over on the ground, on the floor. I don't know. Same thing, right? But Morpheus and Lucienne made the most sense. And as usual, like sometimes the ship that you want isn't going to get together or whatever, or many people won't understand the logic you have, but the logic is that they had so much chemistry. Like genuinely they had so much chemistry. And then it was just the fact that Morpheus and Lucienne's relationship was way more deeper than every other relationship. Oh, okay, every 100 years he meets this dude, but does he listen to him? Does he apologize? Because Morpheus never admits that he's wrong, but to Lucienne he did. Stayed like the entirety of the time that he was gone. She stayed and tried to man his like palace, his kingdom. And then when he comes back, like she's still there, she's still trying to help, and maybe he's a bit of a dick about it, right? But eventually he apologizes, and I said he doesn't apologize to anyone, and he realizes that maybe like him ruling isn't something he can do on his own, but it's something he can do with her. Give me the script. They do not know how to write romance. I will write it. You can do all the murder, all that. Give me the script for the romance. I'll write it. I believe they should be together. And I hope somebody else sees it. Again, my email is in the description box. I keep on saying like I could make things better, but just a big disclaimer: it's very easy to say you can like make things better because it's already been created. So you know, like to all these people who have already created these stuff, and I'm like being like I can make it better. I am still thankful that you created it in the first place, because I probably wouldn't have made that idea. She-Hulk. Oh my god, the way I was devouring that. It was such a good show. If you've watched She-Hulk before, like part of it is not that it's just that she doesn't want to be a hero. She's also a lawyer, and also she's going through like her romance struggle. She's a grown woman who's like probably dating people, but dating is a different thing where you're a superhero and everyone knows, and sometimes they like the superhero more than they like you. And then Matt comes along, and he's also a lawyer, and she's working with a big conglomerate that she thought she'd never have to work with, and he's working with the small guy, though that designer is like pretty big. And they have immediate chemistry. Both of them are really intelligent, both of them are really cool people, and they hit it off, and then they meet each other in their superhero counterparts, and it's just as insane. And I think that when he came along, I was just like, this is so great, this is so great, this is so great. And I don't read comics a lot, I cannot lie to you, especially like Marvel ones. Like there's a lot of editions, a lot of creations, but I was so sad that I wouldn't get to see them more, because obviously with like a comic, it's like it's comics, it's characters. But with like TV shows, there's the logistics of like actors, how much you pay them, having their own series, because you know Daredevil is getting his own again, but on Disney Plus. So I was just like, I was so sad, because it's like, this is so good, and if you could write this, I'd love it. Because before that, all the men that came onto her life were trash, and then Matt came along, and I was just like, damn, sir, stay here, because they were so cute, and she deserved it. And she was in a point where she was feeling a bit insecure, because everyone thought that She-Hulk was better than her, but Matt saw that, you know, in both ways she was amazing. So yeah, I see the vision. Give me more. And in the last few, like in the last episode, they did give us, but like the last episode was a bit of a trip, can't lie to you. So give me more non-trippy episodes with both of them. Thank you very much. Young royals, they're cute. No, I'll say they're cute. They're cute. Like my sister was like, when she saw that, she laughed, because she was just like, they're so messy, but like they were messy in a cute way, you know. Like I really enjoyed watching the messiness of Young Royal season 2. Like he was just like what was his name again? Simon was like keeping his space from Willem, however you pronounce it, kept his space from him. He was trying to get himself right, and I think that was amazing. Because you know, like there's only so much you can do for a person, and they can have like this excuse, which is entirely valid, but it doesn't mean you have to live through the excuse of, oh, I'm a prince. Like he was outed, a sex tape was dropped. Yeah, there was a lot, and like I don't think William was taking enough, the prince, I'm not calling him the prince because I don't know if I'm saying his name right, was taking enough accountability until he finally was. And then he had to wallow in the fact that he couldn't be with Simone. And I loved that Simone was trying to like navigate the oceans and see if there was another person for him, and clearly there wasn't. Maybe this is it, they're meant to be together. It was really, really, really good. I liked it. Yeah, they're cute. And then we have Erin and James from Dairy Girls. Dairy Girls is complete, and I think if you haven't watched it before, go watch it. It's hilarious, like genuinely hilarious, right? And I watched it, and I think Erin and James were really cute. You know, they were weird. Like again, like some people in the So Sweet My Teeth Are Aching, I was like, yeah, are they sweet, or are they weird, or are they a bit crazy, or are they a bit like dramatic? Yeah, there are a lot of those things, but also cute. Like cuteness isn't just one thing, it's multifaceted, so I'm allowed to say that they're also cute. And I think they match each other very well, because they're a bit off. They're a bit off, they're both weird, they're both really weird, and I think that level of weirdness isn't something that everyone can handle, and I think they can handle each other really well. So yeah, that's why they go there. But they're also because they made me laugh and smile and be like, oh, they're so cute. And then we have the partner track. I don't know if anyone actually watched the show, you know, like I saw her and she's from Teen Wolf. So yeah, the next course of action was to be like, let me watch this show. And then I watched it, and there was this guy. It was Ingrid and I want to say Nate. I'm not gonna Google his name again, I'm sorry. But yeah, like he was basically this rich boy, and he was supposed to be the perfect option for her, but she just didn't vibe with him. And like, you know, usually people who think they're the perfect option for you, like they're pretty annoying. And I think he was pretty annoying, like in the sense that he was too good to be true, and maybe that's unfair to him. I'm like, you're such a good person, like I can't trust you. That's my own issue. But yeah, they were not good together. They were not. It just felt like a textbook. Like, you know, there's a catalog. They're like, this is how a perfect relationship should be, especially with like a rich guy and a girl who has like family issues. And then they gave it to me, and I was just like, obviously they're not the couple that ended up together, but even just watching them, because sometimes you can be tantalized, you know, even though you know they're not supposed to be together, you know, even though you know he's not supposed to be the person they're supposed to end up with, you can be like, oh my god, like I'm falling for this, kind of like you're so horrible for tearing them apart. But this wasn't given that. This wasn't given that at all. I knew I was gonna put Canaan and Kimberly. Yeah, again, you know, sometimes shows end a season off in a way to like have another season. And Canaan and Kimberly was that. It really was that. Like, what even is this? Like, I can understand Kimberly falling for him 100%. Canaan is like everything that you'd want, I guess. Like, he's really smart, good looking, like kind, mature. Yeah, I can see Kimberly falling for that, especially because everyone was like calling her out, and they were like, you fall for guys who are like really cute but dumb. Looks around and she's like, damn, like he's smart, he's good looking, I should fall for him, right? But Canaan falling for her, like, yo, nah, I don't think it's that deep. I think it was just meant to be like a show-stopping cliffhanger. Our last couple, our forgotten couple, Becky and Nahida, 25, 21. Let me put this out there right now. The ending, not that great, especially in the romance aspect, could possibly be thrown in the trash. But every other moment, because I've changed so much. I've become a lenient watcher, where it's like, if I enjoy it throughout the period, I'm willing to let go of the end, because you know the end is just the end. Like, who said it's the real end? Like, my brain can drop that shit. Like, it's not gonna believe it. It's not gonna accept that you're saying that this is the end. My brain has a mind. My mind has an imagination. My imagination can write stories. Nahido, Becky, so dynamic, so well done. Like, the two of them are in entirely different places in their lives, right? But the comfort that they give each other, throughout it, and then when they like each other, beautiful. And the thing that I loved the most about the two of them is that, like, they were friends at first, right? And during their friendship, there was this, obviously there's this undertone of like something else, right? When the undertone is like, you know, unveiled, before and after, they would do anything for each other, and they still do. And the comfort, as I said, they bring to each other, and just the maturity of their relationship was just so good. That's why the ending is so unbelievable, because you make people each other's comfort, you make people be entirely supportive of each other, you make people so mature, you make people so loving in every way. Like, you wouldn't ever see actions, like, they don't do things to hurt each other intentionally, like, they don't. And yeah, like, the surety of their feelings for each other, that was also something that just blew me out of the water. Like, when he said he loved her, he meant it, and there was never a point where you doubted that. Sometimes when people say things, you just watch it and it's like, what the fuck, dude, like, that doesn't seem like it. Like, I guess if you say so, but you're probably 100% lying. But no, they were both sure of each other's feelings, and even if though their like for each other wasn't on the like the feelings that they had it for each other wasn't at the same time, like, it never affected their friendship. They were like, okay, like, maybe you like me, but like, can I still have you as a friend, or this or that, you know? So yeah, they were amazing, and again, consumed my life for a good part, like, great part of my life. They consumed it, and they were really fun. They were airing the same time as Business Proposal. I remember that, because they were like two different shows. Like, this one was really happy-go-lucky, this one was really sad. Like, let me be clear, it is a sad show. They both, as I said, suffering mama issues, parental issues, money issues, all the issues. But I think they handled it really well. Yeah. So I think that's a great description. I think I gave enough. Like, if there's more, I'll probably do a voiceover. So that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
You aren't a maybe. You're a yes.